Hey guys, it's Lindsay here. Today we have an Emom workout. What that means is every minute on the minute. So we've taken 7 exercises. You're going to complete 1 exercise at a time within the minute time frame. Whenever you finish your rep range, that's when you rest, and then the minute starts over and you repeat the same exercises 4 to 6 times. So we're going to go through all the descriptions and modifications to follow in the videos to come. Hope you enjoy this one. First exercise we have is a windshield wiper. So make sure your low back presses into the floor. Arms are out straight into a T position. Then you bring your legs up and drop them over from side to side. Keeping your knees together, you're trying to bring your feet as close to your hands as possible. Engaging in through the obliques to bring your legs back up through center. Modification option 1, you can have both knees bent, keep the knees together, and then drop them from side to side, still trying to bring your knee as close to your hand as possible when you go from side to side. If you want something in between, the top leg will stay straight and the bottom leg will stay bent, and then you'll alternate in the middle to make sure that the top leg is the one that stays straight and the bottom leg is the one that stays bent. Second up, we have a frog crunch. So we're bringing our heels together, dropping our knees out wide from a lying position. From there, we then crunch up, bringing our elbows and knees to touch. If we need to modify from this position here, we're going to keep our heels together, drop our knees out wide, and then from there, we're just sitting up and bringing our elbows right to our knees. Here we have a long lever plank walkout. So you're going to walk your hands out in front of you as far as you can from that high plank position, keeping your hips square. Smaller steps with your hand is better, and you're keeping your hips square as you move one hand at a time. If you need to modify, you can drop to your knees. So you'll find yourself in a modified plank and you'll walk your hands out and back in. Other modification options include from either the kneeling position here is a long lever plank hold, or coming up into the high plank position and going for that long lever plank hold. So the long lever means your arms are extended in front of your shoulders. Here we have an oblique crunch, just like a regular crunch, except we're going to drop our knees to one side. From there, we're going to crunch in through our core, lifting our scapulas up off the floor. This is going to target in more of our obliques. Once we complete the rep range on the right, we will then rotate, drop our knees to the opposite side, and complete the same amount of reps on the opposite side, making sure each time we crunch that both of our scapulas, our shoulder blades, come up off of the floor. Here we have a flutter kick. So once you're lying flat on your back, you're going to check to make sure that low back is pressed into the floor. From there, you're lifting one foot up, alternating, dropping the heel to the floor. You're keeping that low back pressed in the whole time. Modification options include, you can slide your hands under your glutes for a bit of extra support. The low back still presses into the floor, and then you're alternating your heels, which one taps down onto the floor. The higher you come up, the easier this will be. The closer you stay to the floor, a little bit harder this will be. If you want to modify even further, you can go from a knees bent position and just have your knees bent, alternating the heel that taps down to the floor. Here we have a bicycle crunch. So you're going to make sure that low back presses into the floor. From there, gently rest your hands behind your head, and then you're going to bring your opposite elbow towards your opposite knee. So the elbow that lifts up towards the knee, that scapula comes up off the floor, and then you alternate from side to side. If you want to make this a little bit harder, what you can do is you can come up, lifting both scapulas up off the floor so the shoulder blades are up, and then you're crunching, going opposite elbow to opposite knee, staying in that position up off the floor. The last exercise we have is a complex. So you're starting in a high plank. You're going for one shoulder tap on either side, then one knee drive to your elbows, and one sprawl. So shoulder tap, knee drive, hop your feet in, land flat, and going for that sprawl. So things you want to consider here is your core stays tight, your hips don't shake as you lift up your hand or your foot, and when you're hopping in on that sprawl, your feet land flat. So if you want to modify this one, you have a couple options. You can do just shoulder taps from a high plank position or a modified plank position. So your knees would drop to the floor for the modified plank, or you could go for just knee drives. So you're staying in that high plank position, tapping your knee to your elbow each time, or you could do just sprawl. So just hopping your feet up, lifting your chest up off in so that it faces the front of the room, and repeat.